there we go.
Welcome everyone to today's intro session for ReSet for More Excellence. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and a big thank you to everyone tuning in online and taking the time with us. I really enjoy spending time with people who want to move forward to great results in their life and are willing to take the time and energy and effort toward that. So first I want to introduce myself and who I am and why I'm standing here before you. My name is Wendy Pronick, and I first took what was called previously the Pursuit of Excellence, now renamed ReSet for More Excellence, in the fall of 2016. And I only took it because my friend, who I love and admire deeply, said, hey, you should do this. And I said, yes, I'm a joiner. I didn't attend an intro like this. I had no idea what I was getting into. I wasn't looking for more. I thought I had a great life, actually. And in fact, I walked into the room like this. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm doing here. But because I super just loved and admired my friend who said you should do this, I agreed. And my other thought was, they offer money back guarantee. And I'm a sucker for two things, a deal and a money back guarantee. And so they offer you money back. And so I thought, well, if I have nothing to lose really, but I could perhaps become a bit more excellent. And so here I am, fast forward to now, and I've done the complete series, including the graduate programs, and I fell in love with all of it. And that's why I'm here before you. These programs changed my life in such a major way, and like I said, I was resistant going into it. I had no idea what I was getting into. They helped me to save a relationship that I was super dooming to fail. More on that later. These programs also helped me to figure out, discover really who I am at the core, which has allowed me to give myself more grace. That's been a big blessing in my life. Anyone else out there a recovering perfectionist? I don't enjoy it. It's not been a fun ride for me. It probably hasn't been a fun ride for those around me either, but I'm learning to get over that part of myself because I don't like it. That's a way better place to live from. It also has helped me to discover my purpose in life, which has allowed me to rise up and operate at a higher level and help make the world a better place. And so that's why I'm standing here before you. I feel it's my calling to help as many people as possible find these programs for themselves and help them to rise up, to operate at the highest level they possibly can, and also make the world a better place. So that's why I'm here talking to you tonight. So thank you for coming out. My intention is to let you know what the program is all about, introduce some key concepts for you, go over the course schedule and some upcoming dates, and answer any questions that you might have that will help you make a decision toward perhaps attending the next ReSet for More Excellence. So I know many of you are tuning in or here because a friend or family member said, hey, let's do this, and perhaps you notice some great results in their life. So speaking of great results, what are some things that you might like to get some better results in? What are some results you'd like to get more of in your life?
More money.
More money, nice. What else?
Health.
More health, yeah, totally. What else?
Better job.
Better job, absolutely. What else?
Better relationships.
Nice, better relationships, for sure.
Clarity.
More clarity, for sure. Anything else?
More fun.
More fun, I love that one, yes. Okay. These are all great results, and no matter how much we want our great results, we can still struggle to create them, otherwise we'd have them already, right? What if we could create, or rather, what if we could show up in the world in a different way so we can more easily create results that we want? So we're going to take a look at 3 different people who are going to experience the same day's events to look more at what that might look like for you. Our first person is Eve. All right. So Eve's life motto is, life is hard and then you die. She believes the purpose of life is survival. She just wants to get through to the end. She just likes taking responsibility. She loves to be right. She lacks self-awareness. And her biggest threat is vulnerability. So, a day in the life of Eve. So Eve wakes up in the morning and she gets up at the exact same time every day. She takes the exact same route every day to arrive at work on time. But today, she's woken up and on her route, she has found there's a traffic jam, and she is super upset. She's not totally sure, but she's pretty sure it's a new driver up ahead who's ruining her day. And she also can see that in the right-hand lane, they're all starting to merge into her lane. So she makes sure that nose on up to the bumper in front of her and eyes forward to avoid any contact. Because why should she have to suffer for them choosing the wrong lane? All right? So, she winds up showing up late for work, and she's livid and she winds up complaining to everybody in the room about her horrible commute. How do you think she's feeling? How do you think she's feeling?
Angry.
Angry, yeah. What else?
She's not in control.
Out of control, nice.
Definitely frustrated.
Frustrated. What else?
Righteous indignation.
Ooh, gee, righteous indignation. You just want me to spell that. Wow. What else? I'll add justified. All right. So she arrives at work and it's announced that they landed a new contract, and basically that means they're going to add way more workload onto her already totally full workload, and she's super mad again. I mean, how can they pull blood from a stone, right? They just keep piling it on her. It's super unfair. She wishes she worked for a union so she could file on those grievances. How do you think she's feeling?
Unfair.
Yeah, unfair. Ooh, these pens are unfair. Holy man. Okay, unfair.
You can't hold that thing.
Good thing I work out sometimes. What else?
Yes. Victim.
Victim. What else?
She's feeling frustrated again.
Frustrated, totally.
Frustrated, angry. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Actually, not closest to tight. All right. So after work, she gets home and she sends a message to her best friend, and her friend doesn't respond right away. And right away, she's super upset, thinking, well, I guess she's not my best friend anymore. I mean, she should be there for me in my time of need. Life isn't fair. Nobody's there for me, in fact. How do you think she's feeling?
Alone.
Lonely.
Yeah. Lonely. Alone. What else?
Unloved.
Unloved.
Ignored.
Ignored. Anything else? Okay. Now, we all know an Eve, and in fact, we can probably all be her once in a while, and no judgment. I mean, she probably has great reasons for behaving the way she did. She probably didn't have great role models growing up either. I think that she might want something different if she just maybe had some different tools in her chest or could get out of her own way.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm going to grab a volunteer to tape up our feelings for Eve. Thank you. And
I didn't leave any.
we're next going to meet a guy named Rye. So, Rye jumps in the car. Oh, pardon me, I shouldn't choose Rye. Rye, his life motto is go, go, go! His purpose of life is to prove his value to others, and he dislikes imperfection. He loves accomplishment and checklists. He lacks time and fulfillment, and his biggest threat is busyness, burnout, and distraction, because he's so busy doing so many things. So, Rye winds up having the exact same day as Eve. He jumps in his car, and he hits the exact same traffic jam, surprise. And he's really stressed out because he's racing late for work for a meeting that he has to be at. He's super upset and stressed, and so worried he's going to lose his job. So he decides to veer off to the shoulder to see if he can get around the cars, and he spills his coffee, and he just starts berating himself. I've chosen the wrong route. What was I thinking? I failed again. I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna lose my house. And he winds up showing up late and super flustered. How do you think he's feeling? Angry.
Frustrated.
Yeah. Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
Maybe scared.
Scared. Frustrated. Yes. Awesome. So he arrives at work, and the big contract gets announced, and he's excited for the challenge, but it's freaking out a little bit because he already has such a big workload. He decides to take it on anyway, knowing that he can't really handle all of it. But then he decides, well, I could probably just work weekends and evenings too. Well, he needs to see the wife and the children, right? As long as the boss notices me, I get recognized. He winds up using coffee all day and alcohol all night just to get through this tough week. How do you think he's feeling?
Tired.
Tired, yeah.
Worn out.
Worn out, yes.
Not a very good partner, I guess.
I'll say that. Oops. Don't read my writing. What else?
A little bit put upon, maybe?
What was that,
A
Richard?
little bit put upon?
Oh. Put upon. Okay, awesome, awesome. So, after work, he texts a friend to tell him about his new gig at work and how busy he is, and the friend doesn't reply right away, and he immediately thinks that maybe he did something to upset his friend, and he plays the tape in his head that, oh, I did it again, I'm never good enough, I'm always getting it wrong, and he worries that he's just lost another friend and he just cannot get it right. How do you think he's feeling?
Abandoned.
Abandoned. Alone.
Hurt.
Nice. Hurt. Yeah. There's probably a few of us who can relate to Rye. I know I sure can. You think if he had a few other tools, he could get through his day with a bit more of a better experience? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me volunteer. Thank you. All right. So, our third player in this game of life is Bodhi. And Bodhi's life motto is, I am the author of my life. He believes the purpose of life is to become the best version of myself. He dislikes stagnation, being stuck. He loves learning and personal growth. He likes having a large community of like-minded people around him. And his biggest threat is other people's negativity. So, day in the life of Bodhi, you all surprised, he's in the same traffic jam as even Rye. And he's driving along and, he's a bit disappointed, but he realizes that there's nothing that he can control about this. So he decides, hey, you know what? I've been waiting to listen to this podcast forever. I'm going to plug this in. And he smiles at all the motorists around him because they're all almost together. And he leaves lots of space for the person, or rather people beside him, to get on in front of him. How do you think he's feeling?
Good. Relaxed.
Yeah. He's feeling good. Relaxed. What else?
Fortunate.
Nice.
To be able to listen to this podcast.
Oh, yeah. What else?
Joyful.
Joyful, yeah. Nice. Oops. So he arrives at work and the exact same contract gets announced. And he's excited for the challenge and it's what he's been waiting for, but he knows he can't handle the current workload with the new workload. And so he decides to make an agreement with his workmates that they're going to take some of his current workload so he can take on the new challenge. How do you think he's feeling?
Great.
Yeah. Great. So what else?
Supportive?
Supportive. Dynamic. Ooh, nice one.
Empowered?
Yeah, empowered.
I think he feels like flexible, like he can take on anything, no matter what way it goes, like he can bend.
Nice. Flexible. Nice.
In control.
In control, yeah. Good ones. So he gets home that night and he decides he's going to call up a friend to connect. Friend doesn't answer, gets his voicemail, but he thinks, hey, that's great. They're out having a great time. Life is so great. I'm going to write my gratitude journal and I'm going to go to bed. How do you think he's feeling?
Great. Awesome. It's gonna have good sleep.
Good, great, awesome, yes.
Can't wait to get up in the morning. Start his day.
Yeah, can't wait to get up. I'll get right excited then.
You said it grateful?
Grateful.
Peaceful?
Peaceful, yeah. Okay. Nice job. All right. Now, who here? Oh, actually, pardon me. Thank you. Thank you. Who here knows a Bodhi? Who here can be a Bodhi?
Yeah,
Who here would like to just have a few more days like Bodhi?
definitely.
I'd like to point out that he was either born and raised into great circumstances where he's done a lot of work to get where he is, or perhaps both. Again, no judgment, but what would it be like to live more of a life like Bodhi?
Pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, I agree. So we've now viewed the exact same day from three totally different perspectives. And maybe some of you are having a moment of going, ooh, this feels a little bit familiar to me, some of these experiences. And maybe all three experiences are feeling familiar to you, and perhaps you might feel all three of those things in one day.
I had it before coffee this morning.
Before coffee. That's awesome. Who here's relating to perhaps having all three of those experiences in one day? Right? We might have a Rai experience in one way, we might have an Eve experience in something else, and another Bodhi experience in a completely different area. We can be all three of them in one day. And that's why we're talking about everybody. Because this applies to all of us. We're all of this. These are aspects of all of us. What impacts how we might react, how we might choose one of these three ways of reacting. Self-care has a lot to do with it. Am I angry? Am I hungry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? Have I taken time? Have I taken time for myself? Have I slowed down? Have I taken the time to really think about what I really want in life? To get clear about what I really want. So let's take a deeper look at why three people have very different experiences. Our experience of life isn't really it's not impacted by what happens to us, but rather how we interpret that through our filter. So how we filter our experiences, basically that's how we make meaning of it, what we think about it, how we feel about it, and then how we react to it. So each of us looks at the world in our own personal perspective, through our own point of view, and we call this our personal paradigm. So this is the way we interpret the world. It's the lens through which we see the world. We could also call it our head, heart, hand paradigm. And no two people ever have the exact same paradigm. So imagine when you're born with a clear filter. And we're very smart human beings and picking up things along the way. So it gets very filled with lots of info. And it's basically comprised of our assumptions and beliefs. Where do you think our assumptions and beliefs come from?
Environment.
Our environment. What else?
Parents.
Parents. What else?
Teachers?
Teachers. Yeah.
Siblings?
Siblings. Totally.
News.
Which?
News.
News. Yeah. Awesome. One of the things we have to do at ReSet for more excellence is take a closer look at our assumptions and beliefs and see if they're still working for us. And if they are, fantastic, don't change a thing. But even the most well-intentioned people can put things on our filter that aren't serving us. And even we can interpret things and turn them into things that are not serving us either. And once we hold our assumptions and beliefs long enough and if they're strong enough, they become our truth. Men are, women are, money is, God is, sex is, you name it. Right? And these truths were set in a long time ago, usually by the age of 10, and they might not be true anymore. And they're not universal, they're very personal truths. So data comes into our filter, and goes to our filter, and we wind up with a thought. Thought could be, I'm not worthy. It could be life is unfair. No one's ever there for me. So when Eve's friend didn't phone her back, that went through her filter, and she had a thought that no one's ever there for me. From her thought, we get feelings, right? So from her thought, she probably was feeling alone and isolated. And then our feelings create our actions. Here we go with, oh dear, that's my hand. So our feelings create our actions, and our actions bring us all our results. So Eve may have cut off her friend, afraid that Eve herself would get hurt first, so she pushes her friend away, and then that gets her results, negative or positive. My guess is that Eve thinks that people aren't there for her, and so she pushes them away first before she has a chance to get hurt. And so the very people that she wants to be close to her, she's pushing them away based on her thoughts and her filter. And it winds up being a self-fulfilling prophecy. Her results are a function of her paradigm. And Rye, somewhere along the lines, he believes that he's not good enough. And so that's why he's worried about losing his job, that they're going to figure out that he's not good enough for his job. Somewhere he picked up that he has to prove his worth to others. An interesting thing about our brain is it's constantly scanning the environment for more proof to see, yes, to show whatever we've already perceived is true. So for example, if I've just fallen in love, I'm seeing a whole lot of couples in love, right? I'm seeing them all strolling in the park, hand in hand, looking so in love. And I'm seeing them at the restaurant, gazing across the table at each other because they're so in love. Or maybe I'm seeing all my friends on Facebook are all getting engaged and married because they're so in love. And what am I screening out? The unhappy couples, the ones who are squabbling, right? So I want more proof that I'm right. Who here has been right all the way to a wrong result before? So each of us has our own BS, that's our own basic story. And it's what we've made up based on our filter that we put on everything that we experience. So who's right? We all just assume that we're right. But really, the truth is, we just made up a story. And the problem is that we think that that story is the truth. There's a good chance that a lot of what's written on your filter is outdated, untrue, disempowering. So maybe it's time to take a look at your filter, discard what's not working, and give it a reset to get more excellence. Now, who here has heard of Roger Bannister? What was he well known for?
4 Minute Mile.
So he was the first man to run a 4-minute mile. And until he did, it was believed that it was totally impossible for a human to do that. And what was interesting was that once he did it, others started doing it too. So it proved to us that what was happening, or rather what was stopping them, was not physiological, it was psychological. Because we went from going, oh, well, that's totally impossible, to believing that it was possible. So they'll just change their minds about it, right? And there's tons of examples of that in sports, right? We really think we can jump this high or run this fast until someone runs faster or jumps higher. And the same way that happens for athletes in sports, it happens for us in our daily lives. Our paradigm about ourselves, about our abilities, our inabilities, our paradigm about love, relationships, work, you name it. And I guess it's all the results that we're getting, negative or positive. What about going to the moon? One time it was totally unheard of, and now Richard Branson is working on sending everyday people to the moon. Or how about perhaps changing our belief that, from I'm unworthy to I'm worthy. That can make a world of difference. I have a personal example when it comes to paradigm shift when it has to do with my boyfriend. So he was the first man I went on a date with after my husband died, and I definitely thought it could never work because he was the first man I went on a date with after my husband died. And the next week, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes. And so I thought, this could never work because I haven't shopped around for a new boyfriend. And so I thought, there's just no way this could possibly work because I have not shopped around. He's the first man, this is just not going to work. My other thought was, he's nothing like my husband. So I thought that for it to work, my next Mr. Right has to be just like my husband because we were so great together. And so this could definitely not ever work because he's nothing like him. So, do you want to guess if it was working? It was not working. About a year into our relationship, we had 3 breakups in 3 months. It was awful. And that was the time that I came across these programs. And without even trying, I wound up having this paradigm shift about him. And let me tell you, I did not enter these programs to fix the relationship or keep him around. I had zero intention. Like, that was not on my agenda when I went to that program room with my arms crossed. But somehow, my paradigm about him and our relationship shifted. And my results have been completely different. And we're now getting married in 4 months. So, I mean, this stuff happens. This stuff works without even trying. So our paradigm is also what informs us of our comfort zone and where we're stopping ourselves. Alright. So, it's the bullseye, and the center of it is our comfort zone. And our comfort zone is basically, well, it's very safe and comfortable. And most of us have a pretty small comfort zone. You know, if someone says, hey, you want to do this thing, and it scares you, you'll probably say, no, thanks, right? Not a lot of awesome is happening there because it's just safe and comfortable. Nothing wrong with that. It's a great way to keep us safe. Eve has a pretty small comfort zone. If you asked her to do something out of her comfort zone, she'd very emphatically say no, and then she would probably berate you for even suggesting such a ridiculous thing. On the outside of our comfort zone, furthest edge actually, pardon me, is the panic zone. And this is a huge leap from our comfort zone. This is pretty much where a lot of risk is happening and a lot of risk of failure, really. And Rye is someone who would regularly leap from comfort zone way into panic zone. For example, let's say he wanted to get in shape. He decides after 5 years of being sedentary that he should super get in shape. And let's say he cuts out, all the carbs, all the sugars, all the fat, all the food groups, and then decides to work out 3 hours a day every day. And 2 weeks later, he's flat on his back on the couch wondering why he has all these injuries. So he leaped from his comfort zone straight into the panic zone, and doing so got himself injured, which reaffirmed his belief that exercise always leads to entropy. And he winds up rebounding back into his comfort zone. And then what does he wind up thinking about taking a risk? Don't do it. Probably not a good idea, right? In the center here is our stretch zone. this is a cool place to be. Oops. So Bodhi is someone who likes to edge into the stretch zone. That's a more comfortable way of moving toward awesomeness. If he's going to work out and get in shape, he'd probably go to the gym, say, for 1 hour, 4 or 5 times a week, maybe add in some extra water, cut out some processed food. He's dipping the toe in, right, getting a bit of results, and realizing that, hey, that wasn't so bad, nobody died, I'm going to dip a bit more of this toe in. Oh, my whole foot's going in. That's a much safer way to move towards our goals. Our goal is really to start moving in the stretch zone, and that's how our comfort zone winds up expanding with way less risk. And that's where the awesome starts to happen. Over the 3 days that you'll spend in a ReSet for more excellence, you'll become aware of your comfort zone and where you're stopping yourself. And you'll be given the tools that'll help you to stretch your comfort zone and get more comfortable with having more in your life. And that's where the change in results will be lasting. That's awesome. So there's a lot more tools covered in your 3 days. There's about 20 tools covered in ReSet for more excellence. Who could use some more tools to be awesome? So we have tools to help resolve conflict. Who could use some help resolving conflict? Yeah, who couldn't? We have breaking patterns such as procrastination. Anyone could use that? Me too. Improving relationships, whether it be with your spouse, your children, your parents, your coworkers. That'd be awesome, hey? Emotional intelligence, which is the ability to regulate your emotions and change your results by learning to respond more effectively. That's rad. Making choices. And I always thought, well, how hard could it be to make a choice? But really the truth is that making a hard choice is hard and making an easy choice is easy. What I found for myself since being in these programs is that I've developed such clarity around what's important to me that now I have such clarity around what to say yes to and what to say no to. And now it's the easy things like where should we go for lunch that I find more challenging because I'm so clear about what's important to me. How many of you like to feel in control? How many of you feel stressed when you're out of control? So one of the things that you get to do at ReSet for More Excellence is really get in the driver's seat of your life and align who you are and what you do with purpose. It's not to say that you're going to be on track all the time towards moving toward what it is that you want in life, because we're all going to get off track. But the beauty of it is that you're going to recognize when you're off track and you'll know how to get back on track. And that's a really powerful place to live from. Leadership. Determining your leadership style, learning how to leverage your natural strengths. I believe there's leadership skills in all of us. It's just a matter of nurturing them and having the confidence to employ them. Leadership is about being a leader in your community, a leader in your career, and a leader just in your own life. What does it mean to be a leader in your own life? For me, it's being fully engaged, being fully present, and fully participating. So if you want to feel more fulfilled in life, be a leader in your own life. So, I'm just going to flip that over. Let's talk some logistics. ReSet for More Excellence happens on a Friday from 1 to 10 p.m., a Saturday from 9 to 7:30, and a Sunday from 9 to 7:30. The next one coming up is May 31st to June 2nd, and it's happening right here in this building, 40th Sport and Health Center. And now for the big close. The course is $695, but not tonight. Thank you for laughing. Tonight, it's only $595, so you get $100 off for being here, or if you're tuning in online, then you have a promo code that should be showing up to get your $100 off, Yahoo. Well, there's two things I want to say about this. Number one is we have a lifetime audit privilege, so that means you pay the money and you get to do the course as many times as you want. Now, I'm sure some of you might be thinking, why would I do this over and over and over again? But I have lots of friends who've actually done the program many times, and a great time to do it is when you have a life change. So maybe you have a new job, maybe you have a new spouse, maybe you became an empty nester, Any change in life is a great time to have just that reset, that refresher. And if you're stuck on the price, just simply do the course 595 times. And what does it break down to?
$1.
$1. That's a good deal. Number 2, money back guarantee. This is what got me. Like I said, I'm a sucker for 2 things, a deal and a guarantee. So, money back guarantee. At the end of Sunday, when you have finished your ReSet for More Excellence, it is up to you to decide what the value that you wanted from this program, not us. So if you feel you didn't get the value that you wanted, money back. No questions asked, no skill testing questions. We want to have happy customers. We've had tens of thousands of graduates do these programs, and less than 2% have asked for the money back. That's a pretty cool statistic. So, it's check-in time. Check in with yourself. What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of results do you want to create? Do you want to have more days like Eve, Rai, or Bodhi? This course is for everybody, and it's not about whether you need it or not. Even Bodhi's going to take the course because he's a lifelong learner. He didn't get that way by accident. And the most important thing is that you just simply take the journey, and you get to decide when that is. I think the most important time to take it is when you're ready for your soul to really start singing. So when I did the course, I did it on a whim. Like I said, my friend said, hey, you should do this, and I'm a joiner, so I said yes. But I had no idea it would change my life the way it did. Many of you might have general goals like I did. We might have a specific area of focus. But I know that whatever area of focus that you choose, people find tremendous value in these programs. And it far exceeds any expectation that they ever had. That's totally my experience. We all know the definition of insanity, and that's doing the exact same thing over and over, banging your head against the wall, and expecting a different result. So if you want a different result, I highly encourage you to put down a deposit for ReSet for More Excellence tonight. I know that by taking the single step, you will set in motion a completely different trajectory to your life. And I know you'll look back on the decision and one of the best you've ever made. I know I sure do. So thanks for being here tonight. If you would like to set in motion a completely different trajectory to your life, use the promo code if you're online. If you're in the room, feel free to ask any questions. Or if you're ready to make a change, head on right to the back of the room, and we have a great team ready to help you. If you have any questions, please you can holler at me or any of the blue tags in the room, and we'll be sure to answer your questions. Thanks for being here.